Hello again and welcome back to another one. And it's been 2 days, but it feels like a lifetime. It is so good to be back at it again. And today we have a couple of interesting topics to run through, and we'll be ending it with a question on some drama for you guys to answer. So stick around, and as always, if you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll start with Eminems Shade45 recently throwing some quote-unquote shade at those who can't get with the times to understand that Eminem is a worldwide superstar, like stats have showed time and time again. For instance, in Africa, according to streaming data revealed on Africa Day, Eminem was the most streamed artist from America in the continent, but they aren't from the hood in New York, so the haters will say it doesn't count. And here's Shade45's tweet. This is how every fan of every color acts when they tune into DJ Wu Kid's mixes every week with Eminem. Tune in until 6 p.m. and under you can see one of the most famous reactors on this platform doing his thing, but he may not be from the hood in New York, so it doesn't count, I guess.
100% Bro, Slim Shady is back! Slim is back!
And he's reacted to Shade45 as expected with this. And fans from India waste no time. He's the most loved and respected rapper in India. And as someone who's been around in addition to opinions of people around the world, I can vouch for the claim that Eminem is a household name around the world. And I have an update on the last story I covered on this channel, the claim that Eminem is quote-unquote stressed about Mariah's upcoming memoir. And what have I said about the LSM's coverage of Eminem? He gets extensive coverage when it's news that tries to paint him negatively. And taking a look at the outlets that covered this one could argue that the last time Eminem got this kind of coverage was when the LSM tried to fake the reaction to his Lose Yourself performance at the Oscars with pictures of Billie Eilish reacting to something else, despite most viewers and celebrities stating that it was their favorite moment of the Oscars. And for those who have checked out Logic's latest album, how is it? And so far it's getting good reviews across the board, and on that note, Logic looks to have silenced his haters, and I'll have more on that in the next video. Moving on, Eminem's classic album MMLP from 2000 that dropped way before the digital era or music streaming era came along has now surpassed 1.5 billion streams on Spotify, and based on streaming data converted to sales using the formula for revenue generated per stream, that is approximately 1 million equivalent units for MMLP sold via Spotify alone. And you don't see classic albums from that era perform this good, do you? Not unless you're talking about Eminem, then the Eminem Show comes to mind. And if you watch football or soccer like it's called in the United States, a funny exchange happened, a user states. Then the greatest fall of all time happened 4 years later, a dig at Eminem, but the user gets this response: Chelsea fans getting brave, huh? And the comments section is filled with comments about Mariah ending Eminem, which makes you stop to think who's really obsessed. But one thing we can agree on is that Eminem wouldn't plant a source to generate promo for a book using Mariah. And according to a user on Twitter, quoting Eminem's spokesperson about magazines claiming Eminem is stressed over Mariah possibly saying he's bad in bed, believe me, he's not stressed. The user claims this is from an email, and we head over to the next topic at hand. Kanye West announced that he was dropping his upcoming album Donda on the 24th of this month, and shortly after, Taylor Swift announced that she was dropping an album on the same day, and based on the history between the two artists, this was bound to raise some eyebrows, and fans saw this as a face-off of some sort between Kanye West and Taylor Swift. We even got a viral tweet depicting the showdown between these two, and like many imagined, based on current form in the industry, when it comes to first week sales, it was looking like RIP Kanye's #1 streak. And if you've been following the news, Drake recently lost his #1 streak, Eminem remains at the top for #1 streaks, and Kanye versus Taylor Swift would have been one of the most interesting chart battles of recent memory based on their history, and a user predicted Kanye is probably gonna delay it since he never releases on time, and this was exactly what my friends and I expected. And another viral tweet expands on it. Kanye West will not drop his album tonight due to fear of losing the #1 spot to Taylor Swift, And one thing I'll add to this is that you may not care about number ones, but you should remember that you don't know if Taylor or Kanye feels the same way. And one could argue that Kanye didn't think it was worth the risk since he didn't drop his project, so there's that. And one user states, imagine thinking Taylor Swift could outsell Kanye. And I'll leave this one to you guys to answer in the comment section. And regardless of how you may love Kanye or Taylor Swift, try to answer this below based on the facts of the situation. Who do you think would have come out on top, Kanye or Taylor Swift? I'll be reading your replies. And I think this was an attempt by Taylor to get petty with Mr. West, but share your thoughts below. That will be all. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.